Hey everyone, I'm Marissa,
And I'm Haley.
and today we're talking about querying. Now,
Oh, the dreaded querying. For those who don't know what querying is, which I'd be a little shocked, but you never know. You might just be completely new to this realm. Querying is once you finished writing your manuscript, you got it like beta read, you got it edited, you know it's down pat, ready to be published. Then you go out and try to pitch your book to usually like literary agents, but sometimes editors, sometimes at publishing houses if it's like a smaller one. But yeah, you're basically saying, "Hey, my book deserves to be published. This is why. Please help me. Please do it."
please accept me and make my book big.
Yep.
Please.
I'd like to get money for my book.
I would like this to become popular. I wrote it.
And unfortunately, querying is an arduous process.
Yeah, we've done it once before, and whoo.
Just to be clear for you listeners slash viewers, what we're going to tell you isn't how to make your query something that agents are going to throw themselves at. We're not saying if you want this to be published, this is how you get it published, because we are not experts on that. Nope.
No, this is more a summary of what you'll need, based on our experience of actually gone through the querying process ourselves.
Yep. So that's my disclaimer. We're not going to tell you how to get agents to want your book. We're just telling you this is what you need, bare minimum.
Yeah, this is what you'll need to get there.
With a few tips that we learned slash researched along the way.
Yes. This is part experience, part research. So hopefully it's compiled enough that actually no, I'm pretty sure that like this will be all that you'll need.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with confidence.
There we go, Marissa. Confidence.
Confidence, yes.
Have confidence.
No confidence. Sorry, had to.
I'm glad you got my reference. No one else will. Well, Trevor might.
Trevor
but
might. I say it a lot with him.
Okay, now Marissa, what do they need?
So you will need a manuscript / sample. A sample is different than a manuscript. A sample is like a few pages or a few chapters, and this will vary based on where you go, but you will need, you just get both ready. Manuscript's like your whole thing. You'll need a book proposal for nonfiction, and then you'll need a query letter, a synopsis, a summary, and a pitch.
We're not going to go into book proposal because we don't write nonfiction, and
Sorry.
we wouldn't be able to tell you about that. But if you did write nonfiction, that's something you'll want to look up.
Yes.
So okay, first things first, your manuscript / your sample. This is going to be the most important part.
Yes.
This is the part that we are uniquely qualified to talk about because we worked for a publishing house, and I took an internship at a literary agency, and I had to read like people's samples and manuscripts. So this first rule, the most important one, and I say this from the bottom of my heart, please edit your fucking book. Please.
I am personally begging you. Go through all the edits, the dimensional, the line, the copy, the proof, all of them. I don't care if you do it personally or you get a friend to or you hire someone.
For at least for this, because, well, first of all, any literary agent or publisher or editor, well, okay, maybe not editor, but for sure literary agent and publisher, if they look at your manuscript and see a bunch of errors, they are not going to they're not going to read further. You have to edit, please. For the sake of the poor unpaid interns that are forced to read your shit. Please.
Sent me a book that was so riddled with errors that I had to edit it in my head to know what was going on.
I had a book that I literally got headaches from reading it. I didn't even want to read past the first page, but I had to because my boss said, "Oh, you have to read at least 50 pages of it," which I did not. Let's just say, sorry if my boss, if you even remember me, which you probably don't, because I only lasted like 4 months on this job before I was like, nah. Um, but yeah, sorry, I did not. I read like 10 pages, and then I pretended I read 50 more, and then as revenge, in my write up on whether or not I have to do like a write up on, I suggest working with this one, or no, don't avoid it like the plague. I put quotes in because if I had to read this shit, they were going to read this shit, and they will know what torture they put me through. So yeah, okay, ending my rant there. Please edit your fucking book.
Please. But moving on, after our begging, each place you submit will have a different sample size. So pay really close attention to that because if they're like, we want the first chapter and you send them the first five, they're going to be upset because that
They
means
don't
you
like
can't
it.
listen.
They don't like it when you don't, if you're incapable of following the rules. You know, I just realized another. I okay. I started a creative arts journal for my school. I'm still doing it. So in a way, I am like a publisher. Huh. But and that was one thing that drove me crazy is people that can't follow directions. Literally, that is like almost unless you have gold, like this better be the best thing I've ever read. If you can't follow instructions, that automatically makes me not want to work with you and not want to publish you.
Yeah, so
Um,
please just pay very close attention. Also, just going along with that, be very careful with names to not make a mistake. Each place will be like, "Oh, you need to talk to Mary," and the next will be John. Just for example, you need to make sure that you're very careful with the name. Otherwise, it's not going to look very good.
yep. Oh yeah, moving on. That's a good segue because that also is very important with your query letter. That's the next thing you're going to want to work on after your manuscript. So, the letter itself is a pitch for your book. It's not you just giving like a summary or just your author bio. This is the whole purpose of it is that you're saying this is my book and this is why you should definitely pick it up.
Yeah, and it should be unique to each place because each place you're trying to sell them your book. So, like, if you're trying to sell it to me versus Haley, it's gonna be different because what I'm gonna be looking forward to is different than what she's gonna be looking forward to. And each place will have like little bios on the people. So you can be like, oh, they're really into fantasy. Cool, I can focus on that. And the next person's gonna be like, I'm really into mystery. And you can be like, okay, cool, my thing is a mystery fantasy. I can really lean into the mystery aspect. That's something to really keep an eye out for.
It also works with comp titles. So comp titles or like comparative titles are the books that you're going to compare your book to. So they get a sense, like more of a sense on your book. There are some I guess like soft rules when it comes to comp titles. Like if you're going to pick a book to compare your book to, choose books that have been published recently and honestly no more than like 10 years ago, because if you're like, oh, my book is like Sherlock Holmes, well, okay, all right, so like I don't know, I think I heard what I heard is that doing more recent titles shows that you're like well versed in the current market, and that's one of the main reasons why. And when you do put a comp title in your query letter, it should be something like, um, this book, like X book, like my book is X book meets Y book, or it's like my book is in the tradition of this book, and it's kind of and when you're picking a comp title, it's not so much saying my book is exactly like Alice in Wonderland. You shouldn't, but it shows like where your book is in terms of like where it is in terms of like today's literary landscape. Um, hold on, I have a website that I pulled up just for this that they kind of describe it best. Okay, so it says I bought this from like janefriedman.com. She has an article all about comp titles. Um, if you're watching this on YouTube, if I remember to do this, I'll link it in the description.
I was about to say, like, you should probably link it so that way I can do it too.
Yeah, I'll try to remember to do it. I hope I remember. If I don't, I am sorry. But she says, like, if you can't find any, you're probably looking for too similar of a comp. Look at aspects of a work that relate to yours, like style slash voice, themes, plots, or character quality slash journey. And if you're going to use like a title that's old, make sure you pair it with a title that's new. And also, it's okay to use film and TV shows as comps.
Nice. Now, your query outline is because there's an outline that you should use. You have to start with a hook.
I don't think you have. Well, some
You
of
don't
these
have
things
to
can
use
be
it, but,
moved
like,
around.
yeah, but like here's like there's some things that you should start with, and you should always start with a hook, at least in my opinion, because you need to, hook the reader. So that way it's interesting because it's just like your book. If you don't have a hook there, why is anyone keep reading? Same thing with your query letter. Why are they going to start reading if it's not fun? Or
Also, consider the fact that they're reading hundreds of query letters.
yeah,
like thousands. You're gonna need to stand out.
you need to stand out. Now the rest you can kind of move around.
After that,
after that, you can do your book synopsis, which is you're going to. Yeah, is that the one where you spell it out? Yeah, I think so.
You know, we'll get into that later. We have a whole section on synopsis.
That's true. We have a whole section. Sorry, I always get synopsis and summary mixed up in my head because I am a tired person. I'm moving soon, and I'm very tired.
We'll get
I'm extra tired. So you have your book synopsis, then you have your author bio, and then you have your conclusion. And somewhere in the letter, you need to include the title, the genre / category, and the word count of your book. Especially the word count's important because they need to know if you're having like this is like a 55,000 book. It's like, okay, versus like 120,000 word count book. It's a little important.
And then if you're thinking, wow, that's kind of a lot to talk about, it kind of is. But you also need to keep it concise. Like no more than 500 words. Because again, they're going to be reading a whole bunch at once. Like there are thousands of query letters. They're not going to want to read like a book length pitch on it.
They don't want to.
They don't have time. Yeah.
They want something like a nice little gift to be like a taste of what you can do.
Yeah, it's like an email, like an email's worth of information, and make it so your manuscript kind of speaks for itself. This is you like hyping up your manuscript.
Yes, and make sure you proofread it, or have a friend proofread it, or both. Both is good.
Because your query letter is going to be the first introduction to your writing style and how you write. So if your query letter is riddled with errors, they're gonna like, oh crap, the manuscript, oh no.
Yeah, which will suck because your manuscript could be beautiful, could be the next Harry Potter. Well, in success, not wrong person to pick. But you know what I mean. But it would suck if there was but if your query letter is like got typos in it or the wrong name, then they're just gonna be like, nope, and then there goes your potential success.
Y'all should like, because this is their this is your first impression of you as a writer. Make it, when you write it, make sure you put your personality into it. Put your writing style into it. So they know it, they get a taste. They'll get to know you, and also it helps making it unique.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Marissa, because you brought it up that you weren't quite sure what was a synopsis and what was a summary.
I'm reading it right now. I just went like, no duh. Like it just came to me like after I said it. I was just like, no shit, Sherlock. So
no, I'm like, Marissa, you have the script. You're the episode script.
I know, I have it on the screen. I'm tired. I haven't been sleeping. I'm so stressed out. I'm so stressed.
So
anyway,
basically,
you don't need to hear my problems.
So synopsis is basically this is what happens all in my book completely. And a summary is like
nothing, just the whole story.
Yeah. And summary is like the back of your book. Like the Oh wow, I'm blanking out. Your tiredness has moved on to me.
It's an infection.
But
But
usually they're gonna ask more for a synopsis than a summary.
yeah. For the synopsis, try to keep it to a page. That might be difficult, especially if you have a longer book, but do your best because like Haley said, they are reading hundreds of thousands of these. So please just keep it to a page. There are examples that you can look up online to see how to do that, just to, keep it to the key points and while keep it interesting.
Yeah, exactly. You still have to, even though you're giving like a whole like summary of the entire story, you still have to make it somewhat entertaining. So still make it
Yeah.
kind of dramatic. If there's like a twist, you should definitely build up that twist.
Yeah. Yeah. So that when they read it, it's like, oh shit, that's amazing.
Now for
Um,
the summary, I don't think I've ever seen someone ask for a summary. But if
um, no, I don't think we've ever been asked for a summary.
oh wait, no, they might. Like
I
no,
mean,
no.
it
If they don't
happens.
ask for a synopsis, you would be putting your summary in your query letter.
Yeah.
Um, and that just keep it short and to the point, but engaging. And if you need examples, just look at the back of your favorite books.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I typically do when I read summaries because there's some summaries that just spoil the whole book, or at least as a versed reader, I can
Mm,
see the whole book based on the summary, and I'm like, I gotta make sure I don't do that for my book.
yeah.
Ah. Now, the next thing they're gonna ask for is a pitch potentially. Some will, some won't. Now, this has to be short and sweet. You got to tell like the whole story, but like in 3 sentences. This is really hard. At least for me, but it's I don't know. For some people it's super easy. I've talked to people and they're like, "Oh, I just do it in my head." I'm like, "How do you do this?" Cuz for me it's really difficult. So a lot of times when I start either like a manuscript, I try to think of my pitch before I start writing so that way I can keep it aligned or close to what that is. To keep it more, I guess, marketable in my head.
I don't know.
I don't
The
know. It's a good
pitch,
practice.
yeah, the pitch is better, is more useful if you're actually talking to someone.
Yeah.
Like this is better for like when you're gonna get into like the networking side. Like you and yeah, I struggle with it too. Even when I was a film major and they're like, "Oh, we got to do log lines." And I'm like, "Oh no."
Not log lines. Those were always a pain in the ass. I did okay with them, but like they were always a pain in the ass.
And it's like, "How do I summarize this into one sentence?"
Ugh.
Yeah.
My
But it's
favorite was
important.
log.
It's important.
It's
Nah.
important.
Okay, so now that you have all that you need to have prepared, you got your whole querying packet. This is just what I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
Now it is time for you to find an agent or publisher to query. And the first thing you should do when you're ready to look those people up is to create a spreadsheet so you can keep track of who exactly you're querying to and who has answered or not answered yet.
Yes, this is very important because you're not going to be like, it's not going to be like, oh, I'll just query 10 people. No. You
You
will
got
query so many people.
as in hundreds.
Hundreds. We queried for like a year and we had a spreadsheet and it was quite impressive.
What did we have? Like we had the name, we had what like like the literary company or the publishing company.
I think we had the
We had
person.
like did they accept, reject, or not answer? And
Yeah.
unfortunately, not answer is more common than you'd think.
Yeah, you just have to give up after like a month.
What else did we have? Man, it's been so long since I've looked at this. Let me. Oh, there it is. Query spreadsheet. I'm just pulling up now because I'm curious. Okay, yeah, we have first name, last name, agency, the date we sent the query, their email, their website. Um. And then we put like what they asked for, like if they asked for like a query letter, a synopsis. If they asked for sample pages, how many pages was the set that they asked for? And then we had like other things they specifically asked for. And then we put the response.
Yeah.
So yeah, take that, make that, keep track. So once you have that ready to fill out as you go, one way you can find An agent is honestly through Twitter, or I guess now is it called X, or is
X?
it or maybe they switched over to Threads. I don't know how that. I don't know what that going on over there. I don't know. But it was Twitter. Um, you can do like hashtag MSWL, which is manuscript wish list, or they had this they have this not competition, like an event. Like what company did this? A company started this Twitter event called Pit Mad, which is like pitch madness, and essentially like on that day, literary agents are looking on Twitter, and you put like basically your pitch on Twitter. You use hashtag Pit Mad, and then agents will like your will like if an agent likes your post, that's basically them saying send me a query. And that was a good way to find people, see who's interested, get your book out there.
Sorry. There's also Publishers Marketplace, which is a website and a book, and they publish it every year, so you know which publishing house is still around and which agency, like literary agency, is still around, and they have like a list of names and what they do and how to reach them. I own one of the books. I think I own last year's book. I'm not gonna keep buying every year. It is expensive, but at least having that is it's nice to like kind of just flip through pages and highlight like okay, I can go here, 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 here.
Um,
It's
and,
yeah.
and I think isn't the website you have to pay money for as well,
Yeah, the
like
website you
a
have to pay,
membership
I
fee.
believe, because I went on it and it didn't just show me things. I think you have to pay. But I think if you get the book, you can get the website.
Yeah.
I think it helps you out. You don't have to do both.
There's also these two websites. One's Query Tracker, and the other one is Agent Query, and that's essentially just a database that has, like, oh, these are agents that are look. This is what types of books they're looking for. This is what you need, and it's just like, I think it's free. It's been a while since I looked at it, so hopefully it's
Yeah.
still free.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is fun thinking about like querying again. I'm not near like for my book, I'm not like near querying
I
level.
think you are. I think you just need like beta readers and the like beta reading, and then I think it could be good.
Yeah, I want to fix one or two things before. I'm not going to get into it because obviously that'd be very boring me just talking about my book. Um and for those of you who are confused, I'm writing a book and then Haley and I are also writing a book together cuz I'm crazy and I like multiple projects. So, you know, it's fun.
Man, it's so much. I wish playwriting paid more,
Yeah,
because
I can
it's
see
so
you
much
doing
easier.
playwriting.
It's so much easier to. Oh, well, actually, no, I can't say it's so much easier. It's easier and harder at the same time. All right, a really random side note for you writers that are interested in playwriting. There's basically two ways to get your plays out there. You either have to do it through like a festival, which those are easy. All you gotta do is like it's usually on a form, and it's just like name, email. Maybe they'll ask for like a little summary of your play, and then you just put your script on, and boom, that's it. There's not like a query letter. There's not like, I don't know. It seems it's much more simple. Or if you want it to be like performed, but not through a festival, but like just working with the what's it called, theaters. There we go. You have to. It's networking. My least favorite thing of
My
all.
least favorite thing as well.
I guess that's what I appreciate about book publishing too. Is, I mean, network is an aspect, but it's not like the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I lost my train of where are we at after I got onto that side
We're
track.
at submission tips.
Yes.
So just a few is obviously read guidelines closely and follow to the letter. They really want to see that you can follow rules. They really want to just, again, because they're going through so many, they want to get what they need to get. It'll make the process so much easier.
And make sure that your work fits what they're looking for. Don't just send like a query to anyone,
Yeah.
because you're going to be wasting your time and their time. You have to put in the research, put the work in.
And make sure to name the file something clear and professional. What I like to do, maybe it's just me, but I like to put like my last name, like Hunt Query, so that way
Mhm.
they know who it's coming from and what it is.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I do too. Like Haley Harper query, Haley Harper title of book,
Yeah,
manuscript,
make it
Haley Harper
uniform.
synopsis.
Like
Yeah.
like Haley's saying, like make it uniform so that way they know like all this comes as one person, one package.
Yep. Don't leave it at like BQ10567.pdf.
Yeah,
Don't know. That's
don't
so
do that.
unprofessional. And honestly, I'd be a little afraid to open it.
Yeah, like I don't want to open it because I don't know what's coming. I'd rather see Haley Harper query lettered. I'm like, okay, I know who it's from and I know what it is. And I know it's a
Exactly.
person, it's not a robot.
Exactly. Um so more tips. Know what you want from the start. I wish we got a little more detail when we wrote the script because I'm let me hopefully my interpretation of what we wrote like weeks ago makes sense. But um know what kind of publisher or what type of publishing you want. Like what we said before, like really put the research in. No, like from the start, you want traditionally published. You want a literary agency that like it could. Do you want like a big literary agency? You want a smaller one? How closely like see how closely they work with their authors, see if like it fits for you. Just have that in mind, have that goal in mind when you start querying. That
I
is I
think
think what we meant
I
by
think
that.
also when it says like you know what you want from the start, know what genre like or genres that you're going to be. Like I brought up like a mystery fantasy, like know that you fit those two. One so that way you know the tropes and the clichés and what to avoid and what you want to do. But also that when you market it, you're like, "Yes, this is a mystery fantasy. Done." Like it's like you can just say it versus oh it's and just you're just floundering because you're like it's kind of this but it's kind of that but it's kind of this like having a clear image in your head like before you start helps you kind of narrow down what you need.
Man, Marissa, you might have to just talk about this entire section yourself because I don't know what we were on when we were writing this.
Okay. Apparently I smoked some crack and I put down tips. Okay, so have if you didn't do the work beforehand, if you didn't know what you want to do, or like maybe the book got away from you, I don't know. Have beta readers tell you, be like, hey, what genre do you think this is? Haley and I have done this before, and it's kind of worked out, and that they've helped us narrow down what genre our book is. I personally, for the book I'm writing, I knew what I wanted from the start. I knew this was going to be a portal fantasy and, you know, kind of slash romance. And, but beta readers could also tell you, like, oh, no, it's definitely this. Um, Also, know what's important to you and put that into the book. So if you really care about, actually, this section is. Haley, do you know what this one is? The know what's important to you.
No, but I went on Google Docs and I looked at the history, and you wrote this entire section.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was me. It sounded like something I would write. Um Wait, don't make me laugh, I'm gonna cough. Um so basically I think what I was trying to say was if that is something that you know you want, you can put that also in your career letter, be like, oh, it tackles the issues of blank, because that might help you stand out more. Like, oh, this tackles some serious like about racism or pro-life versus pro-choice or you know whatever. That would make you help you stand out in your career letter.
Well, you did pretty good considering we have no idea what we meant by by this. Yeah, good job turning it into something.
Thank you. I'm good at that. That's how I got my degree.
Well, now you know. Now you know what you need. We even gave you some tips on how to make it good, which I know we didn't promise that, but we did anyways.
We did anyways. That's you know fun thing at the end.
And now you're ready to go off on your journey. Good luck to all of you.
Yes, good luck. It's exhausting, it's annoying, it's
And
heart-wrenching.
it's really gonna toughen up your skin because you're gonna get a lot of rejections, and even worse, a lot of nothing.
A lot of nothing, and you just can't take it personally. Sometimes you just get people on a bad day and they read it and they just go no. Just keep trying.
Yep, keep on going. And that's all we have for you today. Tell us, are you querying? Are you in this process right now, or are you about to? And if you are, how's it going? Are you already crying, or do you still have hope in your eyes? Make sure to tell us on Twitter at writing_addicts and on Instagram at writing.addicts.
Also, make sure to follow us wherever you're seeing us right now to get notified for the next episode. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye!
Bye!